Welcome to Connected Care Education. Today we are going to look at Unit 002, Principles and Values of Health and Social Care Children. Unit 002, Principles and Values of Health and Social Care Children's Learning Outcome 4. Understanding how to promote equality, diversity and inclusion. Introduction. Health and social care workers must promote equality and diversity in all aspects of their job role, challenging any practice they think does not reinforce this approach. Through promoting equality and diversity, health and social care workers must ensure an inclusive approach, adapting their approach to meet the needs of children and young people and treating each with fairness and dignity. What is equality? Equality involves treating children and young people fairly, regardless of their differences, by ensuring that they have access to the same life opportunities as everyone else, meaning that they have equal opportunities. Life opportunities include housing, warmth and shelter are basic human needs, education and employment, transport, health and social care, and the ability to purchase goods and services. What is diversity? Diversity means variety. For example, every high street or shopping centre has a diverse selection of shops, restaurants, banks and bars. Even football teams have a diversity of roles, including fullback, goalkeeper, centre forward and winger. We live in a very diverse society where children or young person vary in many ways. These diversities can be age, sex, sexual orientation, physical characteristics such as height, weight and skin colour, ability, personal experiences, personal attributes such as beliefs, values and preferences. Health and social care settings reflect the diversity of the population. Every child or young person will have their own experiences and may come from a variety of different countries. A child or young person's preference for food and music, for example, will vary from one to another. Please pause the video here and complete worksheet Learning Outcome 4, Worksheet 1. What is diversity? Please pause the video here and complete worksheet Learning Outcome 4, Worksheet 1. What is diversity? What is inclusion? Inclusion is about accepting everyone, regardless of their differences. It is also about being understanding and tolerant of differences and providing help and support where appropriate. Any organisation or institution, including local authorities, health and social care service providers, educational establishments, the police service, voluntary organisations and workplaces that supports and promotes inclusion must demonstrate that it values everything about the child or young person involved within it. Inclusion brings about a sense of well-being and of confidence in one's own identity and abilities. What is discrimination? Discrimination means treating children or young people differently or negatively without having a good reason for doing so. The law states that everyone should be treated as favourably as everyone else, and that a child or young person must not be discriminated against because of a personal characteristic, such as religion, gender, age or race. Discrimination can include not including a child or young person in an activity, paying less attention to one child or young person than another with no good reason. There are two forms of discrimination, direct and indirect. Direct discrimination occurs when someone is intentionally treated unfairly, for example, harassment on the basis of skin colour or religion. Indirect discrimination occurs when rules or guidelines meant to apply to everyone unintentionally affect one group of children or young people more than others. For example, a company policy requiring everyone to work night shifts indirectly discriminates against single parents or children or young people who care for elderly relatives. And menus that fail to offer a selection of food indirectly discriminates against children or young people with specific dietary needs or preferences. What are protected characteristics? The Equality Act 2010 protects children or young people from unfair treatment by bringing together anti-discrimination laws that have been in use over the last 40 years to make it easier for children or young people to understand their rights and responsibilities and challenge discrimination. The Equality Act 2010 introduced the term protected characteristics to refer to groups that are protected under the Act. The 9 groups protected under the Act are age, disability, gender reassignment, marriage and civil partnership, pregnancy and maternity, race, religion or belief, sex, sexual orientation. Ways in which child-centred approaches promote equality, diversity and inclusion. Child-centred approaches involve developing strategies to ensure that children and young people are not excluded or isolated from any service, treatment or activity. All children and young people should be welcomed and included and nurture a sense of belonging through a range of activities and experiences that are adapted to ensure inclusivity. All children can feel supported in being able to fulfil their potential. Health and social care workers demonstrate inclusive practice by working in ways that recognise, respect, value and make the most of all aspects of diversity. Having a good understanding and awareness of and responding sensitively to a child or young person's diverse needs supports them in developing a sense of belonging, well-being and confidence in their identity and abilities. The impact of not promoting equality, diversity and inclusion. Inclusive practice strives to deter the negative impact that discrimination, inequality and social exclusion can have on a child or young person's physical and mental health. Having such an understanding ensures appropriate personalised care and support, thereby enabling a child or young person to develop self-respect and maintain a valued role in society. Individuals who fail to support diversity or promote equality are often not aware of their attitudes and the impact of their behaviour. Therefore, inclusive practice involves reflecting on and challenging one's own prejudices, behaviours and work practices. It also involves challenging those of colleagues and other service providers with a view to adapting ways of thinking and working to influence good practice. How the cultural, religious and linguistic background of children and young people can be valued. Cultural, religious and linguistic backgrounds. It is illegal to discriminate or offer a poorer quality service to children and young people belonging to the following groups, who are protected by legislation: race, disability, gender, sexual orientation, religion and belief. Culture has many positive aspects. It gives a pattern and predictability to life which makes children and young people feel settled and secure. It gives individuals a sense of history and of their roots and is important in forming a positive identity. It can help all of us gain knowledge and appreciation of musical, visual and culinary arts. Holding special events to mark cultural or religious occasions or learning new words in another language are both ways of increasing value and respect for the diverse range of backgrounds children and young people may have. Health and social care workers demonstrate inclusive practice by working in ways that recognise, respect, value and make the most of all aspects of diversity, including cultural, religious and linguistic backgrounds. Having a deep awareness of and responding sensitively to a child or young person's diverse needs supports them in developing a sense of belonging, well-being and confidence in their identity and abilities. It helps them to achieve their potential and take their rightful place in society. Challenging discrimination or practice that does not support equality, diversity and inclusion. Identifying discriminatory practice. Discriminatory practice or practice not supportive of equality, diversity and inclusion can take place in a variety of situations. For example, within schools or colleges where children or young people may not be given support and encouragement if it's assumed that their disability or lack of interest affects their ability to learn and achieve. During play and interaction with other children and young people, and in care settings when individuals are persecuted on the basis of their skin colour or sexual preference. Please pause the video here and complete worksheet Learning Outcome 4, Worksheet 2, Identifying Discriminatory Practice. And let's finish with challenging discriminatory practice. Health and social care workers must try to demonstrate and model good practice at all times. In addition to leading by example, they should be prepared to support the equality and rights of children or young person they work with by speaking up on their behalf. Many children or young people don't have the ability to make their own voices heard. For example, they might be frightened or lack the confidence to speak up for themselves. They may be ill, confused, not able to communicate effectively, and many children or young people are just simply not aware of their rights. Health and social care workers should be prepared to talk to their manager or senior about the behaviour of others if it fails to promote equality and rights or is discriminatory. Health and social care workers should be open to feedback about their own work in practice, acting on this feedback if necessary. Please pause the video here and complete worksheet Learning Outcome 4, Worksheet 4, Challenging Discriminatory Practice. Please pause the video here and complete worksheet Learning Outcome 4, Worksheet 3, Challenging Discriminatory Practice.